Hello, my name is Tristan Forrest. I am here with my grandma, Linda Timlin, and we are here to get to know more about what she does as a phlebotomist and how she started off. So, as a phlebotomist, what do you do?
As a phlebotomist, I obviously take blood from people of all ages, of all conditions, like they may already be ill. We may be doing this to prevent them from becoming ill with a certain disease or whatever. And also, we do this because there are a lot of people that have transplants, and we follow up with them after their transplants to make sure that their blood chemistry levels are normal and everything stays stable with them. We also draw blood from newborns, obviously, as well as small children, toddlers, and so forth.
So this goes back on when you get checkups, or pretty much from birth when you get shots?
Correct. We do start with newborn infants with their newborn screens, which is considered a hill stick technique.
Oh, never heard of that one. What made you think and want to be a phlebotomist?
Well, number one, I loved patient contact, and I like to take care of people. I like to help people, and to be a phlebotomist, you really need to be a truly compassionate person. If you aren't, you're in the wrong field. You have to be a patient person as well when taking care of people, and take your time with them and help them to feel comfortable at all times.
So it's pretty much recommended to be a people person.
Correct. Yes.
To get to know people and have like conversation to maybe make them more comfortable before like maybe taking a shot or something, if they're more, not so comfortable with it.
That's right. You put them at ease, at all times, and it can be at any age. It doesn't matter, if it's a child or an older adult. A lot of people have those fears of having a needle put in their arm, which is normal, natural feeling, and we are responsible for helping them feel comfortable. Yeah. Yes.
So this probably kind of goes to my next question. What is your most stressful part of your job?
The most stressful part for me personally is dealing with young children because they don't always understand why we're doing this. In their eyes or in their mind, they're thinking, I'm going to be hurt, I'm going to be stuck with a needle, I don't want to do this. And they're just scared. And so when you start working with them, they might not want to hold still. It takes sometimes 2 or 3 people to hold certain children still in order to obtain that blood sample.
So does it get more easier as you do it year after year? Does it get a little easier, more comfortable? Well,
sure. I mean, when you begin a career as a phlebotomist, it becomes very it is very nerve-wracking at first, and then as you proceed with it more and more all the time, it becomes easier, and you become more confident within yourself as a phlebotomist, and so obviously you're more comfortable. Yes.
Yeah, it helps over like years of experience of just purely just getting used to it.
Right. Exactly.
So this kind of it comes after this. What are you best as a phlebotomist?
Well, it's kind of hard for me to say that, but I think one of my best attributes to my job is my patient contact in general, talking with them and making them feel comfortable, and helping them to know that I genuinely do care. I care about how they feel, and I don't want to hurt them, and I try to be as easy as I can with my technique. So I think that's probably my number one.
So you consider this as your main strength?
I think so, yes. Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Do you ever do teaching for other students, like maybe coming out of high school, maybe in college, in the field? Do you ever, what should you expect when they become a phlebotomist? Do you ever teach them when they come into the lab?
Right. We actually deal with a lot of health occupation students that are in high school that are pursuing a job in the medical field, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be in the lab. It could be as a nurse or radiology, different areas. But even so, they have to know how to draw blood, so that's why they come and spend some time with us, and we train them about phlebotomy, and it helps them, with their clinicals and that sort of thing.
Do you notice if there's like, over the years, is there more people want to be a phlebotomist, or is it like, is it just the same amount of people? Is there like a lot of people that come into that want to be a phlebotomist?
Well, I wouldn't say that it's as popular as, say, the nursing field. I mean, being realistic, as a phlebotomist, you're not going to make as much money as you would in the nursing field. But a lot of nurses start out in the phlebotomy field first. And that's understandable. If you're in it for just the money, you're going to go for the best career you can find in that way. But I will say that in the phlebotomy field, obviously you don't have to go to school as long as you would as in the nursing career. So, it's just a matter of what your preferences are.
Yeah. So this would take shorter training for it to be a phlebotomist, other than being a nurse?
Sure.
It takes less time?
It does. There are actual schools available. There's one in Indianapolis. It's called I think it's the Indiana School of Phlebotomy, and they can go there and get, I think it's a 6-month to a year program that they can get a phlebotomy degree, so to speak. Or you can go to a university and get an associate's degree, or even a bachelor's degree if you want. And obviously you're going to get your phlebotomy training, your phlebotomy education that way. But the main thing to be a phlebotomist is these days you have to at least be certified most of the time to even get hired.
Okay.
And if you're certified, your salary increases too.
Yeah, they probably, how well you do in school and college probably helps your situation now.
Right. Well, true.
Yeah.
But on the job is where you get all of your training, really hands-on.
And they actually show you what to do in the lab with other, utensils and different machines.
Instruments.
Pretty much.
Yes. Yeah.
So, over the years, as you use as equipment for like the different shots and stuff you use, what's been the biggest advantage or advancement in technology since you started to today?
Well, years ago, everything had to be autoclaved or sterilized. For instance, they used glass syringes, they used needles, and they reused those needles. Everything was reused, so it had to be obviously sterilized. So therefore, the rise of spreading of germs or whatever was higher back in those days because of the reason nothing was disposable. Well, now everything is disposable, including the tourniquets. We don't even reuse the same tourniquet anymore. So not only is that a plus, but also in protection of the phlebotomists themselves. Obviously, we have to glove up with everybody. Back in the old days, we didn't have to glove up at all. It was our choice if we did or not. Now it's an OSHA regulation, you have to. And the needles are all disposable, syringes are all disposable, everything like that. So there's no fear for the patient.
Yeah, because with the glass obviously bottles, as much as you would sterilize them, it's just best safe just to use plastic and just get rid of them.
Right.
So they're 100% clean. There's no worry of
Exactly.
actual diseases that may contract from one to another.
That is correct, yes.
What is the biggest misconception as a phlebotomist?
Well, I think that a lot of people that don't understand what phlebotomy truly involves, there's this big misconception that it's an easy job. Well, it's not an easy job. Number one, there's so much more to drawing blood than just putting a needle in someone's arm. It's the matter of your mental state. You have to be mentally focused, totally focused, to the point that you're shutting everything else out around you. If you're dealing with a difficult patient or a patient with a difficult vein that you can't find, so to speak, you have really got to keep your focus, your sense of concentration. And that's not always so easy. That's something you don't learn overnight. That is one of those things you learn over a period of time. And if you really love what you're doing, you will achieve that. You will get to that point where you can really get that focus. And and it's stressful, very stressful sometimes when you get, when you have to be in that type of situation.
Yeah. You guys are very steady of hand at first, and it takes a lot of years' experience just to naturally become adaptable to it.
Right, and not everyone does. They might think they would like to be a phlebotomist. A lot of people, I've seen them quit, and go into something else because they can't deal with the pressures that you have to deal with a lot of the time. So you just have to keep cool, calm, and collected, as the old saying goes.
Yeah.
And in the same note, stay very pleasant and gracious to your patients.
Yeah.
Help them to feel like you really care.
Yeah.
That's key.
Yeah.
To
You want
put
them to
at
make
ease.
you feel like you're their friend.
Right, because if you don't, they can be all tensed up. And believe it or not, that really does affect the vein, or the blood flow in the veins. When a person is constricted and tensed up, it really does affect that blood flow. And it can make a big difference in how successful that needle stick is.
Yeah.
Yeah, truly.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have today. I'm Tristan Forrest. This is my grandma, Linda Timlin. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something about being a phlebotomist. Thank you.
Thank you.